Welcome back to Trifecta Airsoft Podcast. I'm your host, E-Rock. This episode is sponsored by Skirmish, Airsoft Connected. It's also sponsored by Hefe's Airsoft Solutions, a company that puts the airsoft community first. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's get to the podcast. Welcome, bro.
Well, I'm welcome to be welcomed.
Hell yeah. So I actually, you know who I heard about you from? Was
You've heard of me?
yes, because when when you signed up for the cast, okay? You went to my
Yeah,
website, right?
yeah.
I get notifications on my phone through Wix, through the website. So when you go, when somebody goes on there, it automatically pops up just like a regular notification. And I can go in there and look at who signed up, the date, time, whatever, and I can approve the booking or, decline it or whatever, or like
Yeah.
reset it, like reschedule, kind of, set a different time or something. So we me and Constantine, right? Akimbo,
Yeah.
we're playing Division 2, and this popped up, and I go, oh, I just had somebody sign up for the cast on my website, and it is Huckleberry. Do you know who that is? He's like, oh, dude, he is so cool. He is so cool. Yep. So that's how I heard of you. Yeah. Now I hadn't heard of you before you signed up, but
Okay,
once it
that
popped up,
makes okay.
yeah, I thought it was really cool. Yeah.
Kimbo's a really
So
great guy.
yeah, he's a cool dude.
We
Dude, I've
we
been
met at
playing Division with their whole team. Not HSA, but like him and Houdini, and then
really.
Pumbaa, and then like most of the Praetorians. We're all playing Division 2 like the last week together. And it was yeah, it's been cool, man. It's been cool hanging out with them.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I met Akimbo at Shot Zone in February, I think.
Okay.
Or no, it was March. We met in March and during the X1 competitive event.
Yeah, the 1v1s.
Yeah, I'm one of the, I guess, co-founders of it.
Really?
So yeah,
So
it's
so introduce yourself, and then your call sign and stuff, and tell everybody kind of your just introduce yourself, and I want to hear about this. Yeah.
okay. So my name is Adrian, obviously, and my call sign is Huckleberry. Instagram Huckleberry Airsoft with an underscore at the end. And I've been in the game for 3 to 4 years now. Basically, just your average high school kid with nothing better to do. So the X1 competitive that started back in, I want to say, November, early, like late September-ish of last year. It kicked off when FRA Seeker, Matthew Trimble, he invited me to the server after I helped him with a simple high kappa, I guess a high kappa. His high cap broke, and he asked around, hey, do you know what this is? And I popped into a story one time and I asked, maybe you need a new nozzle because sometimes your nozzle could crack and it can cause that issue. And he's like, hey, have you ever wanted to 1v1 one of your friends and you haven't really found a good system to do it? And I was like, yeah, always. And he basically invited me to the X1 Discord server, which is public, by the way. And we kind of kicked it off. We started doing private events at a private field. We just started doing test runs. We developed rules. It's basically Speed QB, but 1v1 format.
Yeah.
We're still working on different game modes. We're working on just several many different ideas that we've all had, just piping in, testing them out. It's a big process, but we had the first event in March, I think, and we just had our second event in April. And from what I've heard about the April event, it went really well. I wasn't there for that one, but the first one I was there, and it ran actually way longer than we expected. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, you just kind of fell into it with the 1v1
yeah.
thing.
I I didn't know many FRA members prior to doing X1, and after X1, it kind of kicked me off. Like, I guess social wise, I got to start knowing 50, 60 different people just right off the bat. Well, not right off the bat. It I got to know roughly 50 to 60 people over that time.
Right. Like
Like,
really quickly or something.
yeah, really quickly. It just kind of happened, you know. And I met with Matthew. I met with uh Chris. He's on FRA. I met a whole bunch of FRA. I met Akimbo. I met and a whole bunch of other people who decided to show up to the event in March.
Yeah. Now, were you before that, you were you'd already been into airsoft, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Were you on a team and everything or just kind of just
not
playing here and there?
not on a team. On a team, I'm on a team right now. As of now, can't reveal it yet, but
Oh shit.
yeah. But I prior to joining X1, it was 3 years I've been playing. After yeah, post November, it was 3 years. So I had maybe 30 to 40 people I knew just through Instagram, stuff like that. And of course I follow a whole bunch of people. You know, we got mutualistic follows, and it kind of just started really kicking off around when I joined X1 is when I started branching out way more, started knowing people like Ruby, started looking at, you know, you have Airsoft Brittany, all those type of people.
Yeah.
It's just started branching out, and I'm just like, holy cow, there's a lot more people in this than I really thought. I need to
Yeah.
start branching out way, way more. And here I am now with like I think 250 followers after
Okay.
starting my account in 2021. And it's just been a great social experience.
Right. So what did so when you got into airsoft, what was it? Just like a typical springers in your backyard with all your buddies?
It started in it started back in 2017. I came across Silo Entertainment, and I
Nice.
saw it and I was like, this is really cool. I used to play like paintball a lot when I was
Mm-hmm.
younger because paintball was like the go-to. It was more known than airsoft. It was more, I guess, publicly accessible if you think about it. And just people generally knew about it more. So I started doing paintball when I was 13, 14 years old. And I kicked off from there. I was like, this is really fun. I wonder how much more I can do this. I haven't touched paintball in like 5 years because there just hasn't been a chance. There has been no chance to do it. But I discovered airsoft about the same time I started playing paintball. And of course, I've it's always just been in the back of my mind. This is something I want to look more into. And I finally decided to bite the bullet, I think the year of COVID. Yeah, it was the year of COVID. I decided to bite the bullet and try out airsoft.
Gotcha.
I went to CartCon near my house. Is like it's a 40-minute drive from my house. That was the
Okay.
very first time I ever played airsoft with any kind of airsoft gun. It was an experience because over okay, so I think I've cracked down the general experience of someone who like gets to my point of okay, I've been in the game for a while now, I know what
Yeah.
this is. The very first time you play airsoft, you have no idea what you're doing at all.
Right.
You just take your gun, you know the rules of okay, no full auto from this distance, but you can full auto from here.
Yeah.
You can't be like point blank. You have to have surrenders. So I kind of just went with strict rules, and I realized how quickly that just following the rules gets you into trouble. Because if you think about it, if you follow the rules to the strictest point,
Yeah.
then you act like a robot and you can get shot so easily.
Right.
So, what I've discovered is that when I started getting my first couple of people out with the rental gun that they gave me, I started realizing, hey, wait a second, I actually have some type of power. I can actually start taking advantages over other people.
Yeah.
I learned to take the rental gun that was given to me, and I learned to use the best of the ability of it, like the best of a bad situation, if you think about it.
Right.
So in reality, what I decided to do was after I got out of first, because everybody's also afraid of being shot.
Oh yeah.
Once you're shot, like it stings for a second, but it eventually fades away in like a minute or so.
Right.
I discovered that and I was like, okay, it's not so bad. I'm going to start being a little bit more brave. I'm going to start getting out there a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to just start running around, just and it works. I mean, people, I get people out and I get out maybe once every 5, 6 kills.
Right.
And once that happens, I mean, that's when it clicked. I was like, this is really awesome. I want to do this more. So during the summer, I went to CardCon a little bit more. It just I went maybe 3, 4 more times over the summer because of course I was still a little bit new to it. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I discovered Nashville Airsoft. Nashville Airsoft is now my home field
Okay.
officially because I discovered one, it's way closer to my house,
Nice.
and two, it's an indoor field, which I personally like.
Right.
Um, my second, the a year after I played at CartCon, from my birthday to my next birthday, we decided to go back to CartCon for my birthday, but we found out that the wait line for the rental guns were really long. And we were like, okay, we're here now. What do we do?
Yeah.
My friend pipes up and he's like, okay, there's this other airsoft field in Nashville. You guys want to check it out? And I'm like, in Nashville? Sure, why not? So we drove there, we got in. It was an entirely different experience from CartCon because
Really.
one indoor, and two, it was
Right.
really close quarters. It was really dim. You couldn't really see much.
Mm.
And I was like, oh wow, this is really cool because this is the complete opposite of what I've been doing.
Yeah. Right.
And over like over that day of playing at Nashville Airsoft, I think we played 3 hours in total, which got us maybe 2, 3, 4 games. I don't remember how many. But the rental guns that were provided, it was about 10 times more fun for me,
Really.
just in general, because I was getting fast, I was faster, I was quicker. For some reason, my brain just kicked into instant threat analysis mode. Anything I saw move was just dropped, and it just kicked off that, okay, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. The community's great, everybody's so friendly here. And one of the head ref at the time, Marcus, he's not with NA anymore, which is completely depressing, but
Mm.
at the time he was one of the best refs of all time. He knew the
Really.
rules, he was enforcing the rules constantly. He was just a great guy overall, and I still see him, of course, but he him not being at NA anymore is just heartbreaking because he was one of the best refs ever.
Yeah. What
So
did he go somewhere else?
no, he stopped refing in general.
Mm.
He went to for greener pastures, I guess,
Sure.
and but he still plays airsoft and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But after that, I started for Christmas that year. I got my own rifle. I got like a vest. I got helmet, and I got a helmet, all that stuff, and I started to just run around with it. I kept going back to NA, spending $20, $30 a pop to just play all day, and that happened for maybe 3 times, 4 times a month.
Yeah.
It was just what I love doing. And eventually I started to get I got a GoPro, and I was like, maybe I can do something with this. And so I just started recording games at a time. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this footage. This is something that's really interesting to me. I'm I'm looking at my mistakes through the GoPro footage. I'm looking at stuff that changed,
Hmm.
that stuff I'm doing wrong. I'm looking at things I missed, and I'm just like, this is something that I can do one, I can do it to improve myself, and two, I can start using it to make some content, which got me the idea to make my account Huckleberry Airsoft, because that's where that name comes from. I just remembered my very first patch that I got was "I'm your Huckleberry," and
Oh, nice.
that was the very first patch I got. I'm like, that's a nice name, Huckleberry. So I wore it constantly on my left arm at the time. Yeah, on my left arm, I wore that patch constantly. And for another year or so, that's what I would run. I had that patch and a couple other patches I collected, and that's what I would do. Just blue jeans, my combat shirt, the vest, helmet, what the basically what a person who's just getting the airsoft looks like, you know?
Right.
The
Nice.
the generic look. I had a yeah, I still have it right over there. The generic rifle,
Right.
like there's no set model it's after or anything like that. And then
What was your first rifle?
it's it's something called a game face rifle.
Game
I don't
face.
it's modeled after an M4, of course, but
Isn't that
let me
I think there's a game called Game Face. Yeah.
let me grab it real quick. It's basically just this. I think it's a standard 17-inch, maybe. I think it's the CQB model,
Nice.
but it's got a nice short handrail, or not handrail, handguard.
Yeah.
And the barrel, I think the barrel is 7, 8 inches itself. I don't remember exactly, but this thing got me through 2 years of gameplay with nothing going wrong with it at all. I did lose one side of the select fire switch, and I lost the little grip to extend and collapse my stock.
Right.
But other than that, nothing else has been missing from it, which
Nice.
I think is impressive considering how long I've had
Yeah, right.
it.
And where'd you
But
get something like that? What was like a local?
I got it for Christmas. It was just like
Oh,
a gift under the tree.
oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, it's wild when I talk to people and I find out there's so many different brands of airsoft stuff that
Yeah.
I've never heard of.
it was the model was Ripcord M4. That was the model from Game Face, and
Right.
I was looking up on the internet trying to find where this rifle came from. I keep looking it up. I can't find that model that I have.
What?
I can't find the model.
No way.
I look up Game Face Ripcord M4. I find different colors of it, and I
Yeah.
find like slightly different hand guards,
Hmm.
but there is nothing else that's like my rifle.
That's
There is
weird.
just nothing else, which is the
Because it's a
weirdest thing.
that is weird because it's a standard like all
Yeah,
black like
yeah,
normal.
standard all black Ripcord M4.
That's
I look it
wild.
up. I find Coyote Brown. I
Yeah.
find Desert ACU. There's no like pure black with the specific handguard I have. I have a key mod handguard on it. No other Ripcord
Gotcha.
M4 has a key mod handguard.
Huh. That's
So
wild.
weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. We got I don't know, speaking of the earlier when we were talking about like you signed up on our channel and I was talking to Constantine when we were playing Division and I told him about you, whatever, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know." But how did you hear about us to sign up? Because I was gonna say
You
we started our channel doing unboxings, but
it was I knew a couple people like Ruby and Akimbo did the podcast. I see it, and I'm like, I've seen you guys from Pumbaa as well. He keeps reposting the podcast on his stories,
oh
and
yeah, he
I
does,
just see
right.
it. I see it from place to place. I just like see it over time. I'm like, this is a podcast, and I listened to a couple of them. Akimbo's is really nice to listen to, but like just over time, I keep seeing it more and more, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should do some real research into this. What is this exactly? And it just kind of clicked. Like this is like a origin story type thing, you know?
Right.
So
It really is.
I figured why not? I have some type of social like presence, why not make myself known?
Absolutely. That's cool, man. Yeah, we so these unboxings we started out, our channel started out with one of the unboxings we did was let's see, they ordered it was a mystery box, or no, it was like some kind of, not a mystery box, but like a combo box or something they
Yeah, yeah,
ordered
yeah,
from
yeah.
somewhere different. Normally we were doing like a box of awesomeness. We were doing those. And this one was supposed to be, and even on the receipt that came with it in the box, was supposed to be a I'm not going to get this right, King Arms or something like that.
King Arms.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
it was supposed to be a King Arms gun, but it was a Golden Eagle, which we had never heard of. So it was like something completely different. Like they just messed up, they put the right paperwork in for the order, but the wrong box.
huh.
So we ended up, of course, we always do the unboxing and the review on the gun, and I think it turned out fine. But this is one of those things where we never even heard of this, the Golden Eagle.
Huh.
Uh, Now my boys, when we started this, I think that video was fairly early in our channel, and they were only probably a year into, not even a year into airsoft. So because they started airsoft, and probably like 2 months before, well, let's see, no, the February, yeah, like 2 months before we actually started the channel. So it was it was really interesting when we're getting these different boxes, especially mystery boxes, when they're putting sometimes, some off-brand cheaper
Yeah.
stuff in there, or return things, or, used or whatever. And we're getting these brands. I'm like, what? I never heard of this stuff. Because when you start researching, we're looking up all these, so I see all these different names, the big brand names that were starting to come up, that they were talking about, like Crytek and,
Yeah.
G&G and
Yeah.
all the basic ones. You go to Evic and you see if you want to sort or search by brand or whatever, has the
Yeah.
drop down list. It's like a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a
There's a
lot
big
of
list.
brands.
So I was starting to get familiar with all these. And this Golden Eagle, we were like, what? What is this? It was kind of cool because, and that's what we liked about mystery boxes. Whereas that Christmas Day opening something and you
Yeah.
don't know what it is, the surprise, the
Yeah.
mystery,
The
obviously. But
mystery.
but yeah, that's but your Game Face one, I swear there's a video game, like an off-brand video game called Game Face. It came out years ago, that was supposed to be a similar to Call of Duty style play, something like
Game
that.
face. I don't think I've ever. It sounds like it would be a ripoff of Call of Duty, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, but yeah, man, that's cool. You so when you started, you said you went to Nashville. You hadn't
Yeah.
even you didn't even know that it was there,
No.
because you were playing at the other end, CartCon. And then the first time you go to Nashville, um, how long before you met Pumbaa and his guys at Praetorians? Because they play over there.
I want to say it was maybe 4 or 5 months.
Oh, wow.
4 or 5 months after I started playing at NA, I started getting to know more. Like I started branching out at NA,
Oh,
like
okay.
just starting out connections. I met one of my best friends at NA, like for at the birthday where we couldn't go to CartCon.
Yeah.
I met one of my new best friends there, like early 20, like late 2021.
Yeah.
We started kicking off our friendship, and we've been friends for over a year now. Just like he doesn't go airsofting much anymore, which I wish he did, but he definitely wants to get back into it. He just hasn't had the right time, or our times haven't connected. But after that connection with him, he he was kind of like my stepping stone into like reaching out to other people because I've seen like people like Slaughter Gang and it HSA, all of those people. I've seen them there, but I had no idea who they were. I saw them, they looked cool. I was like, okay, I don't want to get over there just yet. They're a little bit too advanced for me to get to know. So it just started branching out from my best friend. It linked into Marcus, the ref, and then I created my Instagram account in 2021, and I started following more people who I recognized the profile picture and I related it to the people I saw at NA, and I was like,
Mm,
okay, these people go to NA, I'll follow them and get to know them a little bit. And it just spiraled out from there. I started knowing people from Elite. I started following Tootsies. Just all these people that I had no idea who they were. All of a sudden, I knew exactly who they were, and I was able to put a name to a face every time I went to NA.
nice. Yeah, that's I was gonna say 4 or 5 months, man. I thought you would have met him like,
Oh
or at
yeah,
least you'd
I
probably
I
seen him
I
there,
met
right?
I met
Seen him there
them, and
earlier,
I recognized them, but I had
right?
physically no idea who they were because I recognized
Hmm.
that they were obviously a part of some team. I just didn't know what team or what they played for because I had no idea Speak to Be even existed
Right.
until like maybe 3 months after I started playing at NA.
Okay. Yeah, that's wild, dude. Okay. That's usually how it goes, man. When people start out, they get, they're like somebody invites them over to this one field and they're like, "Ah, okay, yeah, let's try it out." And then a month later, bro, they're like gung ho. This is their life purpose.
Yeah.
You know. Now, do you play regularly over there still
Yeah.
in Nashville?
Yeah, I still play regularly. I actually became a ref over there
Oh shit,
not too
okay.
long ago. In late February, early March, I signed up to be a ref, and I still am a ref now. I actually go ref there tomorrow. So
Awesome.
it I took the ref job because over my time at NA, I noticed slowly after Marcus left that it started dwindling out of control
Mm,
because there were people who were playing who weren't getting banned. They were just getting like slaps on the wrist. There wasn't any major action taken against them.
gotcha.
So that's where I met one of my new work buddies. We After my second shift, we started just hanging out constantly. And me and him, we are basically like some type of new enforcement because I'm new to it. I'm new to refing in general. I like take everything super strictly. He's been a ref for a month longer than me, and he does the same thing as me. So with us combined, we're like a powerhouse of just like bringing down the hammer of justice. So after I joined the force, I guess I've noticed that there has been improvements after I joined. There has been some more improvement, and I guess just general cracking down from the general manager about it.
Mm,
But overall, it's improved within the month or two that I've been working there.
okay. Now, how do you like reffing? Is it
It's fun.
yeah.
I find it enjoyable, and it's I met a couple of new people, and I've met people who I follow on Instagram, but I actually didn't know who they were.
Mm,
Like we were mutual followers, and like we were talking to each other, but we actually haven't seen each other. And then when I became a ref, it actually clicked that one of the other refs was the person that I made a mutual connection with.
okay.
So it was kind of like a nice splash of reality, like, oh wait, this is who I've been talking to.
All right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's always cool when you meet somebody like I met I don't know, 5, 6, 7 people, maybe 8 people uh in person back at one of the mill sims I was at just, at the end of last year. And I met them in person. These are guys that I've had on the podcast, and all from all over different states. And so it's really cool when that happens. I don't know why. It just seems cool. Like when you're chatting
Yeah,
with people, when you're, texting, like you're liking their stuff, like you follow them on Instagram, or you follow their social stuff, and then you see them in person. It's kind of cool. It's just
yeah.
cool. It's like, hey man, this is like
That's
I felt like I knew a lot of these guys already, obviously after talking with them like we
yeah.
are now. But
This
yeah,
guy, CQ Speed, he follow. I think we followed each other around the same time. We started just like hitting it off because he's Speed QB. He's new to Speed QB.
yeah.
We were kind of just like just hitting it off. And eventually he said he posted on a story, "I'm coming to Nashville." And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be in Nashville too. So I eventually I get to the arena for the Speed QB tournament that night, and I just like I'm looking around, okay, where is this guy? I know he's here. And he sends me a photo of where he's at. It's next to the bathrooms. He's talking with his friend, and I walk up behind him and I take a photo of the back of his head and I send it to him, and I'm waiting for him to just look at his phone. I'm waiting for him to just look at his phone.
Right.
And eventually his friend points out, I think that guy knows you. And he turns around and he's like, Huckleberry. And we just hugged and we handshake.
That's cool, man. Yeah, it's fun. So you're definitely into the airsoft community, and this is the common thing I found with most people. Um, I feel like that's the sport itself, the hobby itself is fun, but I feel like what's more fun, like it's always fun with other people. Like when you have whatever it is, whatever you're doing, like we were talking earlier, uh, how I heard your name. Obviously you signed up on the site and I saw it, but uh, Constantine Akimbo was talking about you because him and I and his team and Praetorians like Pumbaa, a handful of these guys, Houdini, Akimbo, and then some of their teammates. We've all been playing Division Two over the last week or so, week and a half, and it's way more fun. I was, because I've been playing Division Two for a long time, and over the last probably 2 years, maybe a year and a half, I've been playing mostly just by myself, like randoms with random, just pickups. So, and that's cool. But when you have a team, when you have somebody to, share it with, right?
Yeah.
That has the same kind of passion for what you're doing or whatever,
Yeah.
man, it just takes it to the next level. And I feel like that, obviously with airsoft, same thing, like most things in life. But this airsoft thing, it's like people go there for the community. They go there, it's a hangout. And hey,
Yeah.
we're hanging out. Oh yeah, let's go play real quick. Let's run a game. Let's run a game, and then and you make all these different friends. And I made friends now
Yeah.
throughout the world, where I know a lot of these different people, and it's one of the best communities I've seen so far, honestly.
Yeah. It's amazing to see how friendly people can be
Yeah,
because Shoxy on HSA.
yeah, I follow him.
I yeah, I met him at Shot Zone 2 for the X1 event,
Mm.
and I had no idea that he was originally from Japan.
Oh, okay.
So it was interesting for me to see that there's actually other people in the world who do this kind of stuff.
Oh, for sure, bro.
And it was cool to see how him from a whole nother culture actually still has something in common.
Right. This episode is sponsored by Skirmish, the future of airsoft gameplay management. Are you ready to take airsoft to the next level? Skirmish's innovative gameplay solution keeps players and spectators engaged with real-time updates. Capture objectives, detonate targets, medic, and more at skirmish-enabled fields. Skirmish tracks every action so you don't have to. Review past games, action by action, and follow your progress in national rankings. Phones are not required. If you want to find out more, head to skirmish.net and check out episode 157 of this podcast where I talk with the owner of Skirmish about how it started and how it works. Stay connected, my friends. This episode is also sponsored by JefesAirsoftSolutions.com. Are you looking for a company that puts the community first? Look no further than Hefe's Airsoft Solutions. Their founding principle is to offer a way for players of all types to get the greatest experience possible. Their passion is to make a difference in the airsoft community and serve each of their customers with the utmost respect. Be part of the conversation by joining hundreds of fellow airsofters in their Discord server. Here you can find out about upcoming events, sales, giveaways, and more. Don't wait any longer. Join today and start enjoying all that Hefe's Airsoft Solutions has to offer. Together, we can make a difference in the community. Use the code Trifecta10 and save 10% on your next purchase at hefe'sairsoftsolutions.com. Some exclusions apply. So we're talking about Shoxy. That's so I follow on Instagram for a little while.
Yeah.
And that's the other cool thing too, when I meet somebody that's on a team and I, reach out to them and have them on the podcast, then it's like I go in these waves where I have like all these guys that are on the
Yeah.
same team in a row on the podcast. And I had a bunch of guys from DTP down in Florida, Obey Airsoft, like
Yeah.
Try Hard in Florida, had just all these teams, HSA, right? A handful of people on
Yeah.
HSA. I had Prudy, Houdini, of course, and then Praetorians with Pumbaa and a couple other guys. It's just it's kind of cool how it branches out. It really is for me, not being able to go to your guys' state and see you, right? It's this is like a family tree, an airsoft tree that I've,
Yeah.
kind of built over the last couple of years of doing this and connecting all these different people with myself as well. Getting to know all these people it's been fun. It's been fun. It's a really fun part of airsoft that I found myself
Yeah.
being a part of, that I would have never thought that I would have been a part of this.
Yeah.
I was an old school paintballer years ago, and when my sons started playing, I made fun of them for so long. Um, yeah, I really did. So it was pretty funny, but yeah, man, it's been great.
Yeah. But in back when I used to play paintball, it wasn't like at an official field or anything. It was just me
Yeah.
and a couple of people from my dad's work. They all gathered up and like, hey, let's go do paintball. So I was a little skeptical at first. I'm like, paintball? That sounds like it might hurt. So, but the way that we did it was in order for you to play, you had to be initiated, meaning you had to get shot once in order for you to play.
Hmm.
Mine went a little bit weird because so I got my vest on, I got my tank hooked up, I got a line plugged into my tagger, and I had everything ready. I was facing a tree, and I was like, okay, here it comes, and they said, we're about to shoot you now, and I'm just like, ooh, it's gonna sting so bad, and I hear the break, but it hits me in the like worst possible place for an initiation. It hits my tank on my back, meaning I'm technically initiated. However, I did not experience any of the pain.
Oh shit.
So I was technically initiated, and because there was no specification that it had to hurt, there was no like, it was get shot with the paintball and it has to break. So it broke on my tank, so I technically went along with it, and I then discovered how painful it actually was in the midst
Right.
of a game. I took a point blank shot in my thigh,
Ooh,
and it left
bro.
a bruise
Yep.
about yay big.
The
Like it
size of a
was it
softball.
had it had a deep purple coloring inside of it. It
Uh-huh.
had yellow
Yep.
coloring on the outside, and then like a giant purple ring around the entire thing.
It really is like a planet
Yeah.
in space, like in
Oh
the
yeah.
universe with rings and shit.
It covered up the almost entire surface of my thigh. It
Hmm.
it stayed there for months,
Oh,
and
I'm
I
sure.
mean months. I ended up sitting in the truck for maybe an hour, just like in pain. It
Hell
was
yeah.
it was brutal because like that was maybe the third time I got shot that day.
Yeah.
The first two times it was just like a break off a twig or something, and it hit
Oh,
and
gotcha.
splattered on my jacket. And then I got shot in the thigh, and I'm like, this is so much worse than what I've been doing. And I just took a breather for an hour, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to start getting back into it. And I eventually learned that real, like, official paintball hits hurt way less than what I experienced,
Right.
because point blank hurts a whole lot worse
Oh
than
yeah, dude.
50 to 100 feet off.
Yeah,
So,
that's so was that your worst one so far?
mhm,
Okay. It
the
sounds
worst
like it.
injury.
And that was mine. My worst hit from paintball was the guy was about 15 feet away, and he was laying in the leaves like a hiding in, like a sniper.
Yeah.
And 15 feet away, and it was, I mean, I'm literally, when I'm facing the flag, I'm behind a tree, I got a buddy behind me, we're going to run and capture this flag and then just take off and run to the run for the fences. So uh I look back at my buddy and I'm kind of whispering to him, like, I'm we had sat down or like knelt down behind this tree and just looked, just kind of panning to see if there's any movement, see if we see anybody. Nothing. And this dude didn't have a ghillie suit on. He laid down and had his buddies cover him up with leaves. So the only thing, he just had his barrel sticking up. And we did not, we had full, like a kind of like a
Yeah.
dye mask or whatever. But so when I look back at the flag, my neck was exposed, and that's where he shot me,
Ooh.
right on my jugular vein.
Ooh. Oh, that
Bro,
hurt. That. Ooh.
so it wasn't point blank, but it was very close, very close. Like
Ooh.
I could have just tossed, lightly
Yeah.
tossed my gun and it would have landed right on him, how close he
Yeah.
was. So that was the worst shot that I ever
Oh.
had. But we used to play in jeans and a t-shirt, and we used to
Yeah.
play in a t-shirt on purpose so that we could compare welts at the end of the game. And these are guys, like, we were all, most of us were military veterans, and we worked in a factory. So these guys, a lot of these guys rode Harleys and shit. So we are out there just blowing off steam or whatever. So we kind of wanted to get hit. We wanted it to, well, we didn't want to get hit. We just wanted it to hurt when we did. So it made you play, because of that pain. It made you play like more cautious. Like you didn't want to just run all in, unless you had to.
Yeah.
Um, so it kind of made us like, okay, because we played in the woods, my buddy's place. We played at a couple fields, like speedball
Yeah.
fields or whatever. Uh, Later on, there was this one field, man. They had it's outdoor, and we had never heard of airsoft. This is all just paintball. This is back in 97, 98. And so there was this one field. They had this it was outdoor, had this wood setup. They had these big log, like, towers, like sniper towers built.
Huh.
And they weren't very high. They were probably 10, 15 feet up. Well, just like a single platform,
Yeah.
little guard tower. Well, one of them, they had made a two Tippmann 98s. They stuck them together and made a dual turret,
Oh, wow.
put it on a post for a swivel, a steel post. And they had these spacer posts in between them to hold them apart. And what they had was, they set it up just like a 50 cal. So you had the double handles in the back, and so they
Oh.
cut the stocks off. So you had the double handles in the back. So the trigger guards are right there. And then you just pulled the triggers like this. You had the two round posts for the handles, and you could just spray this way. And each had their own hopper. And so if you were up there in the machine gun nest, these guys would start coming in. It was like attack and defend,
Yeah.
right? So you had your team down here, and whoever's in the machine. Of course, everyone wants to be in the machine gun nest.
Yeah.
So it was really fun, man. It was really fun.
Wow.
The first time my son, who's on our YouTube channel, Christian, he's our oldest kid, and he was probably 8, I think, when he was like, "Oh, I want to go. I want to." Kept bugging me, and I shot him in the backyard. Like I just shot him in the side of his foot, like his tennis shoe, and he cried for a little while, and he was
Mm,
like, "No, I'm not ready." So I think it
mm.
was like he was probably 10 when he first came out with me.
Okay. I think I started paintball when I was 12.
Yeah,
I think 13, 12. I started paintball then. I stopped playing at 14. And then I started picking up airsoft around 15, 16.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then,
When you first start playing, and you're younger like that, paintball, man, it does. I
yeah,
feel like it hurts worse than airsoft.
yes.
Um, More consistently. Like,
Yeah.
the like if you took just a random game day and you got shot 10 times in paintball, the majority of like those are probably 9 out of those 10 shots. And you played a game of airsoft, you got
Yep.
shot 10 times. 9 out of 10 of those paintball shots are going to hurt worse than
Yep. That
so
was my general experience. I I got shot in airsoft and I'm like, this is a pinch compared to paintball. I don't know
it
why I
really
didn't
is.
start this sooner.
Yeah.
Because the most I've gotten away with injuries in airsoft was a couple of scars, like a
Hmm.
couple of BB scars from like point blank. I have one on my wrist
Hmm.
from where my glove kind of like folded upwards. And
Yeah.
when I peeked a corner, my glove was folded upwards and a guy shot right underneath my glove.
Oh, Jesus.
So that's one of the only scars. And then I have another one from when this little kid, he point blanked me in my finger and it swelled up. It was a blood blister and it was pretty much a scab for like 2 weeks. And now it's just a scar, friendly little reminder that that kid's awesome.
Nice. I have a scar on my knuckle um from when I was 12 years old. Believe that. Jesus, that's so long ago. Uh we were shooting these are the real BB wars back when
Oh,
in the early 80s when
oh,
we were using BB guns, like
mm-hmm.
actual BB guns, like a Daisy
Yeah,
or a Crossman, and we go out in the woods. We wanted to do the same thing like everyone else does. You want to play war, you want to play army, right? And you
yeah.
go out in the woods and start shooting each other with something. And we did. So I have a scar on my knuckle where I got shot from that, and then I have a scar on the middle of my forehead where I got shot in the face. And then my buddy that I used to go out, we used to go out there and do that with, and then a couple other friends. I shot him between the eyes as well because we peek up through behind a
Oof.
tree or something, and that's the only thing showing. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And we didn't wear glasses, bro. We didn't. It's
Ooh,
so it's so crazy to think about this shit from back then.
dude.
Oh
That
yeah. So, but that's I don't have any scars left over from my airsoft. I did have my boys shoot my hand when we started probably a couple months into our channel because like I said, I was talking shit about about airsoft
yeah.
when they first started playing, and I'm like, it's not gonna hurt. Come on, shoot me. So they unloaded. They dumped a 90 round mid cap mag on my hand, which
Ooh.
is 380 FPS with 2.2s. It's not terrible, but
Oh.
they were like 30 feet away. So it was bro, it
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
It freaking hurt.
380 with what? You said 2.8s?
Just point twos, yeah.
Just 0.2s on 380? Oh. Oh yeah, that's gonna
So
hurt.
the thing was like the first shot or the first couple were not bad, but I was like this. So the
Mm.
top of my hand,
Mm.
I'm holding a beer in this hand. I turn
Yeah.
sideways and I don't have a mask on or nothing. We were out there testing this gun. This was a Sterling. It was a all steel or all metal, full metal gun
Mm-hmm.
in one of the mystery boxes. It was great, man. It's like
Yeah.
I guess it came out after World War II, this type of gun, whatever, but it looks badass. It's one of those the magazine comes in the side, right? It
Oh,
feeds in the
oh,
side,
oh,
and you
oh.
kind of hold it.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
hold
yeah.
it like that,
Like a Sten model.
right? Like a stem model. So it's got the round um handguard barrel
Yeah,
cover that it has all the holes all over it, right?
yeah,
And it looks badass. So this thing was shooting really good. Okay. So we were out there testing it already. So we got the targets set up, and we got these splatter targets that are they have this like black like chalk stuff on it.
yeah,
So and it's like a green fluorescent background. So when you
yeah,
shoot it, you see where, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So that's what we're using for these review videos we do. And so we were out there reviewing the gun, and I'm talking shit the whole time. Like, this gun, bro, I can see these BBs, like they don't even go that
Oh
far. Like
yeah.
there's no way they hurt. And so they were standing farther back actually. And I said, no, you're gonna need to get closer because they're just gonna drop. I just want to feel it. Let's see. So oh dude, it was bad. It was bad. So
Yeah.
it can hurt for sure. It just they don't have the weight that paintballs have. So,
No, that
you
that's
know.
mainly why it hurts so much because you have a larger
Mhm.
object going at a slightly slower speed.
Right,
Not like a greatly slower. No, it's maybe like 100 FPS slower. But
right.
regardless, that is still really fast for
It's
such a large
fast.
object. And when it sucker punches you in the gut or something,
Uh-huh.
it drops you because you're like, oh, what just hit me? It better
Dude,
have been a bat.
those on the lower back, on your back, like
Yeah.
lower back on the side,
Yeah.
those tender spots when you get
Yeah.
hit there with the
In
paintball.
your yeah,
Oh,
like
dude.
directly under your arm and the
Uh-huh.
sides there, and
Yeah.
then like right in your sides from where like your plate carrier would normally be or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oof.
those are hurt. We always wanted to get shot in our chest or our arms,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I never expected to get shot in the neck like that because the mask we had kind of flared out a little bit, you know, it covered like
Yeah.
if you're just looking straight on, it covered most of your jawline and, you know, kind of hung
Yeah.
down a little bit. But yeah, those so your paintballer now, were you when you played paintball, did they have the first strike? Have you ever tried the first strike
Oh,
rounds?
I know what you're talking about, but I've never used them.
Okay.
They look so interesting.
Yeah.
The like their little half paints
Uh-huh.
that half of it's paint and the other half is like a spiral, and
Right.
it goes super duper fast because of the way it's designed.
Yeah.
And they're made for like they're mag specific, so like
Yep.
they're actually made for proper mags in your
Uh-huh.
gun. And from what I've seen, they've done damage. They have
Yeah,
done
those
some serious
I want to
damage.
try one. So the guy that I just had on last week, his podcast came out what is today, Friday? It came out this morning, actually. Carbon Compound. He
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, he's a paintballer turned airsoft. He's only been playing airsoft for I think less than a year.
yeah. Hmm.
And he still plays paintball. So he still goes back and forth. And he was big into the mag fed. Him and his buddies do the, you know, mag only games and whatever.
Yeah.
And he was the first one that told me about this first strike when I had him on, because this is the second time I had him on. I had him on months ago, and he was like, "You know about this first strike rounds?" These, I was like, "What?" So he's showing it to me. I was like, "Bro, if they would have had that stuff when I was playing paintball, I might have stayed with paintball to be honest, because like stuck with it longer,
Yeah.
um, because it's really interesting, like the mag fed thing, and then of course the rifled. You can get the ones that rifle barrel. He said those first strike rounds you can just shoot them in a straight barrel, like a smooth barrel,
Mhm.
or you can because they're made to, you know,
Yeah,
kind of
they're
once they
made to
catch the
spin.
air, right?
They're made to spin.
Uh-huh. But if you shoot them out of rifle barrel, it's they shoot even a little farther
Yeah,
because
because
they're coming
the
out that
guided
way.
system in the rifling, it allows
Uh-huh.
it to get its spin on its own,
Yep.
and then the gas propels it even farther with
Right.
let like there's more gas behind it because it doesn't need that much torque initially to get it going.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I need to look up some videos. I haven't looked up any yet for seeing how far and how straight those things shoot. It's got to be crazy because, you know,
They
typically
go far.
paintballs we're lobbing. Like
Yeah,
you're aiming, you're
you're
kind of aiming
aiming.
like
Yeah, you're
this.
aiming like 4 or 5 feet above where you're trying to hit.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And with first strikes, you actually only have to aim maybe a foot or two above where you want to hit,
Gotcha.
because like literally like airsoft, the way it's functioning with the rifled barrel, it gets that extra boost. So you
Right.
don't have to aim that far to countermeasure. And it
Hmm.
goes maybe, I want to say, half the distance farther,
Right.
if not a little bit less, which is insane considering it's paintball.
Hmm. Now so you showed me your first gun, what you're starting out with. What do you run now?
Right now, I'm like semi in between guns
Okay.
because I have a ESG, like a Euro style gun, but it's
Oh
out of
shit.
commission because the hose isn't properly and my regulator is messed up.
Okay.
So it's currently out of commission. I really wish it wasn't because I haven't even used it yet.
Oh shit.
But I have
Well,
an
how did it
A
break if you haven't even used it?
when we were installing it, it was like put in there so
Oh,
haphazardly
yeah.
that it was just it was a mess to put in.
Okay.
The way you're supposed to do it is that you're supposed to take the gauge and stuff out of the regulator and then slide the regulator inside of the grip.
Mm.
That didn't happen with this one. We had to force it in there
Huh.
because the set screws in the regulator, they wouldn't go down anymore. And that's what was preventing it from going in. So we had to get a blowtorch to
Oh,
okay, hang on, wait. I messed it up. The the first issue came with taking the gauge off, like
yeah.
the pressure gauge.
Right.
It required a blowtorch to get the pressure gauge off because for some reason it the guy who I was having doing it, he was trying to get it off with like a standard vice grip. He gripped it on and it was like trying to torque it off. It broke his vice. I don't I don't know how it happened,
That
but as he was
sounds
turning it, he broke
crazy.
his vice trying to take the gauge off the regulator.
So do
So
you have to take the gauge off
yeah, you have to
to
take
get it
everything.
installed?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to take the gauge off. You have to take the hose connection off. You have to take everything off
Gotcha.
in order for you to actually slide it in the grip. That was issue
Okay.
number one. So his vice broke, and we ended up taking it to NA to have them do it. They put a blowtorch on it to, I guess, melt something inside of it, so it came off a little bit easier.
Right.
So we finally got the gauge off. We got the hose off and all that. The second issue was putting the gauge inside the grip. For some reason, the set screws didn't want to go in. Like the set screws are like we have to have this you you screw them in more and more, and eventually it gets flush with the regulator. This didn't want to happen, so we took a mallet and a vise, and we kind of just kept tapping it a little bit harder and harder into the grip, and eventually it got to the point where it's in there now, but it's a little bit wobbly.
Mm.
So when it's a little bit wobbly and you screw the tank in, it sits right at one point, but when you even tilt it ever so slightly downwards, it leaks.
Oh,
So I don't know how you would have to fix that
oh my
either. And
God.
I can't get the regular rec out to look at it because it was forced in there.
Mm.
So it's a big old situation.
So
I
what?
can I can grab it real quick just so you can look at it. But this this
Okay.
was it doesn't have the grip on it right now, but
Right.
this is basically what I had it in Polar Star F2.
Okay.
It's
So you got a Polar Star F2 in it. Now, how did you, uh, were you piecing this together? You were just making your own build?
it yeah, it this gun originally was in a King Arms SBR,
Gotcha.
and I was eventually like, okay, I kind of want to tune this more to Speed QB. So I decided to just take only the gearbox from King Arms,
Yeah.
and everything else on here is aftermarket. I have a EMG F1 receiver and a selector and a mag release. I need to get a new fire select switch because the one I had doesn't work with this receiver. I have uh, a monk handguard and outer barrel. The funny story with my outer barrel is that I accidentally broke it within my first day of using it. I
This gun sounds like
Yeah,
it's
this
jinxed
gun,
already, bro.
this gun is it doesn't like working with me.
Right.
The thread cap on this, it snapped off within my first day of using it.
Oh my God.
I accidentally dropped it on in a practice day. It was a
Oh,
practice day. I was using it. I was feeling good. I ended up dropping it while I was adjusting my mask, and it landed barrel first into the ground.
uh,
So the thing just snapped off, and I super glued it, and it's working fine now. But I I just haven't gotten to properly use an ESG with this. Like I put the ESG in, I actually had it working and it looked okay. I haven't actually used it yet because it just doesn't want to work.
jeez. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't shoot it when it's leaking. So
No. I've been thinking about just putting my old grip back on
yeah.
and just running it like the that article 1, you know how they have it, the it's basically just a stockless M4.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the I was thinking about running it similar to that, but the
yeah.
problem is I have misplaced my original grip. So
Mm,
I have no idea where it could be, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do since I have no grip.
holy
But
crap, dude.
in terms of other guns, I have my AP. It's kitted out. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, let's see it.
My AAP 01 that I built last year. Just nice, sleek. I call it Darth Vader because the outer barrel setup, the way it is, it's little triangles, and it reminds me of on the Death Star how they have the lighting. It's just little triangles on the sides of the Death Star. So in theory, it made sense to me to name it Darth Vader. So I had it tapped for HPA because I didn't own any green gas mags. So I just tapped it for HPA and I ran it for, I want to say, a couple months. And then I started looking into an M4 because even though this thing was so cool, it got a little bit much because it was, well, not much. It was too minimalistic, you know?
Gotcha.
Because I had a plate carrier, I had a combat shirt, I had a like the duty pants. It didn't look right with what I was wearing because just having an HPA tapped pistol running around looking like I just got out of milsim, it doesn't look right. So
Okay.
I eventually started looking into Mark 18s, like
Oh,
for an M4 style, and this gun I wanted was just for so I can start getting into milsim. So I got a Mark 18 build. I don't have a photo of it, but it's currently at NA. I had to get some work done on it, but I bought that gun from Shorty, Elite Shorty. I bought it from him, and I've run it maybe once or twice, and I had to put it in the shop because something was wrong with the select switch. But that is now what I consider my primary as compared to
okay.
this or my Polar Star.
Now, how did were you do you think you're better with the short rifle or the pistol?
It depends. In certain situations, like I guess in general, M4 platforms are a little bit better for me,
Mm,
but I've gotten some great clips with my pistol because running pistols in CQB is kind of like the dream. But I've gotten back because back when I used to run my old AR, I had some great clips with it too. And that was just me running around doing my own thing, even though that was a full length rifle instead of like a CQB model. So I haven't gotten enough playtime with my rifle in order to make like a nice decision. But I want to say that it just comes down to situation, in my opinion.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. Dude, that's a cool AAP-01 though. Where'd you get that? Or where did you get all the
Um,
parts for it?
Entirely courtesy of Take One Airsoft.
Oh shit, okay.
The everything here is from him.
Yeah.
I had 3 orders from him in total. The first couple of orders, like the first order was for an adapter, some internal upgrades, but not the gun yet because I didn't have enough money for it. So eventually I ordered it, I think 3 months later, because he didn't have the black AAP in stock yet. And that's the one I really wanted because
Gotcha.
with the build I was thinking of, the tan AAP didn't really look right.
Gotcha.
So I ended up ordering the black AAP from him, I think 3 months after. And overall, I got the internals put in. I got a short stroke kit. I got a new nozzle spring, recoil spring, new trigger, and all that stuff. I ordered it from him. It came in like a week later, which is really impressive.
Yeah.
And just I made one final order for the flared magwell.
Right.
And other than that, I think I'm gonna say I finished this build because there's not really much else I want to do with it, and it looks really nice the way it is.
Yeah, it looks awesome, dude.
I've gotten so many compliments about it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Take One.
Yeah, he's in my opinion, he's one of the best places to go for Kappa and AP and Glock for that matter, because he has everything pistol related.
Okay.
But yeah, in my opinion, he's got that personal touch, you know,
Gotcha.
because he used to write like he used to make these handwritten letters,
Yeah.
and he put them with every order that he ever sent out, and he just sent them with every order. I have 3 of those letters,
Nice.
just and I have them posted up on my wall behind the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But he started switching over to like these pre-printed cards
Yeah.
type things, and he writes a little message on it instead, which I still think is really nice of him because it's all about the personal touch when it
Yeah.
comes to like shopping.
Gotcha.
Like with Amped Airsoft, I've gotten like Amped Airsoft, it came really fast, and I didn't really care about the custom noting or anything because it just came really fast and I was happy about it.
What'd you
With
get from Amped? You got the tank and regulator and hose or
um
something?
I did for Amped Airsoft. I don't remember what I got from Amped. I think I got a max hop up
Oh,
and a
okay.
new internal line for when I used to run my uh Polar Star in like a regular M4.
Yeah.
But like with that, I think I got maybe like a sticker or something that came from them. With Cubbysoft, the gear brand, they send, or like AirTac Customs,
Mm-hmm.
they send like cool stickers or stuff. And I have like a whole pile of stickers in my closet just from like several different brands. Slaughter Project, he sent a couple of stickers when I got my slaughter patch, the ransom one back in October. He sent a couple stickers with that. But with Take One, he was like one of the only people I ordered from that actually sent like a full-on letter with the order. And I'm like, holy cow, this is impressive.
Right.
So yeah, just in my opinion, being a human actually makes a lot of difference.
So you're from are you from Nashville, that area?
Yeah, I am born and raised in Tennessee.
Okay. And were you raised around like hunting, guns, anything like
Yeah,
that? Were you used
I
to
was on whenever it's me and my dad, yeah. But mom, she grew up in Europe, and she's European, like born and raised European.
like UK
And
or something like that? Somewhere that didn't have
Belarus,
guns?
like on the border of Russia, it's called Belarus.
Oh, yeah.
She's yeah, she's Belarusian is
Oh
the
shit.
term for
Okay.
it. So she was raised there for almost her entire life. She came to America 20 years ago and started her new life here. And so basically, I am raised half Southern boy and half city boy, which is really weird because I relate to both sides of those. I guess I relate to both sides of those personas.
Right. Yeah. So your dad got you into paintball, so you guys
Yeah.
uh you guys hung out and did that. But so do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have one younger brother, and then I have a half brother and half sister.
Are any of them into airsoft?
My younger brother has been like interested in it, and my half brother has been doing it from time to time.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's a lot of times I talk to people that have siblings that um most people, their siblings are not like it's one person out of that group, out of all their siblings
Yeah.
that's into airsoft and the other ones are
Yeah.
not. It's so wild. Like, um, I guess a personality type maybe
I
thing that
guess.
they're attracted, we're attracted to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, my brother's been like, we kind of picked up paintball again. Like we just kind of like did it with like a group of 10 people. My brother finally did paintball then, and he seemed to enjoy it a lot. So maybe it's like he's been teetering on airsoft for a while too, because he's just worried about the pain. That's
Sure.
all it is. So I've just been like trying to teeter him on, hey, you want to come play airsoft with me this weekend, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I mean, he's yeah, just haven't gotten it through to him yet.
right.
But I think it'll happen.
Did you what kind of hobbies did you have before airsoft? Anything?
Um, I used to tinker with like computer building.
Oh, okay.
I built my own computer, which is what I'm using now.
Yeah.
I built this computer, and then I had some computer tech work around the house with my mom's computer and stuff like that. But other than that, just video games and school.
Nice. Well, I was going to ask you about video games. I'm going to guess that one of your games is Minecraft.
You'd be wrong.
Oh shit. Because your room, bro, looks like a Minecraft
Oh yeah,
setup. It looks badass.
the brick wall in the
It
background.
looks awesome. Yeah.
I everybody has a Minecraft phase. Like I enjoy
It's fun.
Minecraft, but
Yeah.
I don't play it like religiously or anything.
Right.
Um, I have been really into Overwatch lately.
Okay.
So I'm just playing that, Rainbow Six Siege,
Oh yeah,
um,
that's a popular one.
and then just single player games, Assassin's Creed, um, Star Wars.
Oh shit. The
Um,
Old Republic.
yeah, I used to play Old Republic a lot.
Yeah.
Like I used to grind that game out, and then like Spider-Man PS4.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just
I've heard a lot of good things about that.
oh yeah, I love the Spider-Man PS4 series.
Hmm.
It is kicked off immensely. Um, and just other like small things. I play hat like I play a whole bunch of old source games like Half-Life 2,
Did you play this?
original.
You played the original Half-Life?
Yeah, I have almost every single source game.
Bro,
I have hang on,
that
I
was
gotta
my
pull up.
jam back then, bro. When that came
Hang,
out, when
yeah,
Half-Life came out, it was for us guys, I was a PC gamer for a long time. And this is before the original Xbox came out. And we were playing this game. We were playing like just single player games at first. And we were playing games like Delta Force. They were very, very primitive as far as games go. Like every enemy was, it was kind of like a lot of these older PS2 games, Metal Gear Solid, where you could tell, or all the enemies had the same route
yeah.
that they walked, very predictable, shit like that. Well, then we started playing online together, in the mid '90s, and it was Unreal Tournament, the original Counter Strike, uh, Quake, shit
Mhm.
like that. So it was And then Half-Life came out, and it was one of the first story games with first person shooter like
Yeah.
that was that in depth, and that where the AI in the game was that smart. It was insane. And it had this good mix of, I still remember the very first scene when you first load into the game,
Yep.
and you're going down, and you walk in, you're going down into the
Yep.
Black Mesa research facility, and you walk out, and all your as you're walking, like, people are responding to you. This is Now, for us back then, this was like mind blowing, because we were like, holy shit, they're
Yep.
interacting with you. Like, they don't, no games did that. So we were just blown away with what Valve had
Yep.
created with that. So, but anyway, it was one of my favorite games at that point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have almost every single Valve game ever made.
Yeah.
They Steam had this sale.
Portal. Yeah.
Yeah, they had the sale. It was like $150 worth of something games, all for like $10.
Holy crap,
And
dude.
I'm like, I need this now. So I have things like I have the lab, I have Counter-Strike Zero, I have Counter-Strike Source.
Nice.
Hang on, there's like a lot more. Day of Defeat. I have Half-Life Deathmatch. All of the Half-Life like DLC, I guess. Opposing Force, Blue Shift.
Blue Shift. Yeah.
I have Left 4 Dead 2 and 1.
Bro,
Just
when Left 4 Dead came out, that was
dude,
fucking
Left 4
awesome.
Dead is awesome.
It's
I love
still
that game.
such a good game. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, Portal 2, Ricochet.
Oh shit, I forgot about that one. Okay.
Yeah, that and the original Team Fortress.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, there's is
Yep.
a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, why is it $10?
Oh, I mean, they're older games, but we used to play those. Yeah, they were fun, man. That's cool. So so you designed your room. I was talking about Minecraft earlier, and that it's kind of reminds me of that. What what were you like, what made you want to set your room up like this?
I
'Cause
originally
it does
just
look cool.
I originally wanted like a darker colored room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I kind of like this gray. Like, let's do I don't want something too dark.
Right.
So settled on this. And then I was just looking around for stuff I could put around my room. And I came across these foam brick panels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these things are so cool because it looks like you're just sleeping next to a brick wall, which I
Uh-huh.
mean, in theory, it sounds super uncomfortable, but it looks so nice.
Yeah.
So I came across them on like Amazon and I bought like maybe hundreds on tiles.
Yeah.
And each tile is like, I want to say maybe 3 feet by 2 feet across.
Wow.
So I put all of my back wall filled to the brim, and then I still had some left over. So we decided to trim up some of them and just lay them in a giant strip all across the like walls of my room,
Yeah.
except for doors and stuff and windows. But it just layers all the way across and it kind of just loops around.
That's cool. Well, it's if they're foam too, it's good
Yeah.
for sound deafening
Oh
panels.
yeah. They're foam. So it
Hmm.
kind of helps a little bit.
So what is your next big thing for airsoft?
Next big thing for airsoft, probably gonna do milsim
Oh, okay.
and or like get a milsim set up. I'm working on getting a plate carrier, like a proper plate carrier, chest rig, getting a helmet set up, just going full out operator because I
Gotcha.
have several new friends who are in milsim
Okay.
and I've seen milsim, I've seen it played out and it looks super duper fun and I want to do it.
Right.
So I'm looking into like official brands and stuff like that for Milsim, like Cry, uh, and Spiritus, stuff like that.
You know who's big into Milsim that's in your area? I don't know if you follow him on Instagram or not, Mr. OT.
Yes, Mr. OT.
Bro,
Oh,
he's
he's
got
awesome.
all the setups for mil
Oh
sims,
yeah.
and he goes to a lot. He's got a lot of experience in mil sims.
We linked, we were in a giant group chat with a whole bunch of other people. We were talking about doing like this tour thing, going to
Oh yeah, the Goon Squad tour.
some, yeah, not the Goon Squad tour, but it was with people like Gorilla Gun Club and like that.
Oh yeah.
There was a couple other people. We were talking about going to some, I don't remember where it's at, but it was at um the Nuketown copy,
Oh right, right.
like the Nuketown map that
Uh-huh.
the people made. I don't remember where it's at, but we were all
Was that
talking about,
Wisconsin?
is it Wisconsin?
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe it's Illinois.
It's somewhere up
It's
north,
fairly close to
but
you guys.
yeah, it's I think it's like a 14-hour drive
Oh, that's
for
not
us.
close. Okay.
I don't I don't know, but regardless, we were all talking about making one giant trip up there, and
Yeah.
we were all like talking about meeting each other and stuff like that. And then I joined a live one time with Taco, and OT joined. And I was like, wait a second, you're in Tennessee? And I'm like, yeah, brother. And we kind of like linked off on our own. So
Right.
I've just been like sending him dotes back and forth about his notes and his stories, and he does the same.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
All right. Sounds cool. Yeah, that dude, when you go from when you go to your first mil sim, it's a cool experience, you know. I'm sure you've seen all the videos for it and stuff.
oh yeah,
But yeah, once you because there's the cool thing about it is, or one of the cool things about it is you get um obviously you get excited about it, but you have you it's almost like in a video game where you have to go grind a little bit to
yep,
get some new gear to run
yep,
this other mission, right?
yep,
And like, oh, you're not good enough level yet, you don't have this piece or you don't have that piece, right? So you it's the same, it's like that in real life. So you go, okay, oh, what do I need to get? Oh, I got to have this, because there's uniform requirements on some of these
mm-hmm.
mil sims, especially if you go to like the bigger ones that are like 3 day mil sims, whatever,
Yeah.
like
There's
Third Coast
American
Airsoft,
Milsim,
American mil
and
sim.
what was it, Iron Horse 5? They had like tons of kit requirements and stuff like that. I'm like,
Right.
okay, wait a second, I don't know half
Uh-huh.
these words.
It's good though, man. Like it
Like
gives you
I
this
didn't
thing, like I'm gonna go look for
I've
this
been
shit.
slowly learning like actual camo terms and stuff like that too, because they said stuff like you make sure your APU is tiger stripe or something like that. And I have no clue what on earth that meant. So I kind of just like started doing my own research based on like based on camos that were provided for certain kit options.
Yeah.
If I saw like a customized, like if I saw a camo customization underneath an item I was looking at, I would look up what that camo was, and I would understand what the full term is. I would
Gotcha.
understand related terms, and it's just it's a whole lot more to try and do than
Uh-huh.
Speedsoft.
For sure. Now, do you play well, if you've ever played Tarkov,
Yes.
um
Oh yeah.
you can learn a lot about different camos and stuff
Oh yeah.
and guns, because and all the gear and kit and everything, because it's one-to-one replica
Yep.
in the game. The name is the exact same name, the exact
Mm-hmm.
same, like the camos and whatever, like all of these things you could really build all these guys. One of the guys I've had on a couple of times, Van Alex,
Mm-hmm.
he does a lot of 3D printing stuff. He uh he plays Tarkov, and he bases his builds off of his character in the game, which a lot of people do. They'll want to do that once they
Yeah.
get into the milsim stuff. They'll be like, okay, I want my full Call of Duty setup on my kit, and but yeah, Mr. OT he's got a lot, he knows a lot of different camos, and he's got a lot of different camos,
Yeah.
Hawaiian tiger stripe or Miami's tiger stripe or something like that. Like he's got some wild looking ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun, man. That'll be fun. That'll be a good now, are you planning on trying to go to one this year?
I don't think this year, but
Yeah.
maybe next year. I've been thinking like last year I said I might want to do it this year,
Yeah.
but this year, based on how I'm looking, it might be I think maybe like late summertime to winter before I
Right.
might be able to do it. And then based on how that goes, it might get pushed back to next year.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, probably the best time to go if I guess it depends on where you go. If you go anywhere around close to where you're at, or fairly close to where you're at, if you go October-ish is a really good time to go because it's not hot, like too hot.
Yeah.
It's not freezing yet, right? It's not getting down in like 20s at
Yeah.
night, typically. It's a really good time to go. Or like March, sometime in spring
Yeah.
before it gets too hot. But yeah, that's cool, man. That'll be fun for you. When I play Division, sometimes I don't want to do something serious. I
Yeah.
just want to fuck around.
Oh
I want to
yeah.
go do this easy mission. I don't want to do the raid because the fucking raid, you have to wait for 8 people.
Oh
It
yeah.
takes for fucking ever. I just want to go run and gun, right?
It's sort of like the game Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yeah,
That
Wildlands.
that game I just play to have fun
Yeah, dude.
because
It's a great
I
game.
the storyline is great
Yeah.
and all that, but you can play that game just to mess around.
Oh,
Like
fuck yeah.
you can do anything you
You can
want to try and
snipe
get
all
rid.
day, bro.
Yeah,
It's
the
great.
clearing provinces that it's I love Wildlands. That's one of
Hmm.
my favorite games of all time because
Yeah, it's a
there's
great game.
customizability with your character. You can
Right.
go with either like you can have t-shirt and shorts or you can have a full-on kit out
Yeah.
character. And there's so much stuff that was done with Wildlands that wasn't done with Breakpoint that I was just so depressed about. But
Right.
regardless, Wildlands is probably the game to play if you just want to blow off some steam and do whatever
Uh-huh.
you want.
It really
Because that's
is.
that's quite literally what the storyline was. This team was dropped into a foreign soil, and they were basically given permission to do whatever they wanted to
Right.
in order to bring down the El Sueño, whatever. Yeah, El Sueño.
Yep. Well, I now that you're talking about it, I haven't played Wildlands in probably almost a year. Now I want to go back and play it. I mean, I still have it. I still
I've
have it on
beaten
my
it on
Xbox.
my back when I used to play Xbox. I beaten it like 3 times,
Yeah.
and then I downloaded it on my computer, and I've beaten it maybe twice.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it's a
That's
fun
awesome.
game.
Yeah, it really is. I'm gonna have to go back and play that now. Okay. Well, every time I get on Division now that I'm playing with all these guys from Praetorians and HSA,
Yeah.
uh, as soon as I pop in, I'm getting like messages like join party, join party, join party, join the game, join the game. It's I'm like, bruh, I just got on. I'm fucking around right now. I'm trying to get this, just this simple little thing or something.
Yeah.
And right now we're doing a countdown, which is a new feature fairly new feature they've added in the last 6 months, I guess. And it's fun, and you get so much shit, bro. I'm telling your gear, your stash, like your inventory
Yeah.
that you carry on your body is 150. Like you got to have 80 spots,
Yeah.
60 to 80 spots open when you go into countdown because that's how much gear drops.
Yep.
It's fucking insane.
Sort of like Destiny.
Yeah,
Destiny
right.
2.
Destiny 2, yeah. That's a great one too.
I love Destiny 2. I used to play it so much.
Same.
I miss Red 4. I miss it so much. I miss it so much.
Have you ever played Warframe?
I played it once and
Okay.
I was like,
Yeah, yeah. I was too. But when I first got into I had seen it. I didn't like it, like what I saw of it. And
yeah,
my buddy, who was part of the founding, like the founders group,
really.
um, he joined when they first made the game, and they put out this thing where you could pay to be a founder, and then you would get all the updates, like all the new release
Huh.
stuff, whatever, for free, with this one time, investment, whatever. Well, and you're part of the founders meeting that they have once a month or some shit like that, where you actually get, they take your input about how to change the game and what to add to it and shit like that. So he talked about it nonstop, and I was like, Jesus, bro, okay, fine, I'll go on and play it. I got hooked. I got fucking hooked. And it's very similar to Destiny as far as how you can build your character, and they have powers.
Yeah.
Okay, like different class of character
Yeah.
or whatever. And so I was a rhino, my main character, I had a couple different ones, but my main one was a rhino, and it was bro, some of the stuff when you I will say this about that game. It was very fun once I get into it, but monotonous as hell after a little while. But the gear sets you could get, like how you could trick out your character, uh the aesthetics, your costume, your armor, your
Yeah.
all that stuff. You had different things that would give like an give off like a smoke or a red smoke or
Yeah.
a aura or a some kind of electricity looking that like
Yeah.
they really did a good job on how you can make your character look,
Oh yeah.
really fucking cool. Yeah, that's well now I gotta go back and play Wildlands because I miss that game for sure. Okay. Well, no, man, it's been good hearing the stuff about skirmish because I like I said I have not had anyone. Most people haven't heard of it
Yeah.
when I ask them, and then anyone that has heard of it but hadn't played,
Yeah.
like actually used it. So Brandon, if you listen to this, take down these notes. I'll send them these notes after because these are things that, um, like I said, this is good feedback that we need to hear.
Yeah.
And he has told me a couple times
Yeah, it's definitely meant for outdoor because
that's really what he built it for.
indoors it gets a little
Hmm.
bit confusing. It's
Yep.
confusing, but I when I in my time of using it and actually trying to set it up and stuff, I can definitely see it being greatly used for outdoors.
Yeah, that's really where it's gonna. I think that's where it's gonna grow,
Yeah.
or kind of people will really
Milsim,
appreciate the
places like
benefits of it.
CardCon, stuff like
Yes.
that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the mill sims where you have all this shit going on where
Oh
you
yeah.
take over objectives plus your medic station
Yep.
plus your all these different things that it's capable of doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's going to be
That's
where
where
it
it's gonna
takes off.
thrive.
So, well, listen, man, it's been awesome talking with you. I really
Oh,
appreciate
same.
you signing up and appreciate using the system that I set up with, that hopefully did it make it easy when you went on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really easy to just sign up and just like click it in. I was like, wait a second, is that all I have to do? There's no way.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
There's got to be
Yeah, yeah.
some form I got to fill out or something.
Nah, bro. No, I made that shit simple and streamlined as fuck. So when I went in there and there's options I have to add different things to the form. I deleted most of it because it's a
Yeah.
template, that's
Yeah.
built for booking like spa days or if
Oh
you
yeah.
offer a service or if you have a website that offers like online stuff. Um, so that's really what it's for. So it has all this stuff built in, but yeah, I made it very simple and streamlined. I tried to, and yeah, so that's good to hear. Good deal, man. Well, where can everybody find you online?
Um
Your airsoft stuff.
Earlier, like I said, my Instagram is Huckleberry Airsoft, one word with an underscore at the end. My YouTube is just capital H Huckleberry. I have like 4 videos posted on it. Um, you'll find me based on my profile picture. I either have me in my plate carrier and dye mask, or I have some other obscure like photo of me with like a lens on or something. Just like
Gotcha.
I have just a dye lens on with me and my beanie. It's I
Got it.
have you'll figure out who I am based on where I post my gun pictures, stuff like that.
Right. Awesome, man. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you. And hopefully we'll have you on again and maybe we'll do a group get you on one of the group ones we do with all those guys in the area.
That sounds really fun.
Cool. All right, brother. You have a good night, man.
You too, man. Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.